that the first phase of Ogun Light Up project would be completed between the next 6 and 8 weeks and be ready for commissioning. Governor Abiodun made this known while inspecting the project along Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
On assumption of office, Governor Dr. Abiodun pledged that the Light Up Ogun project would ensure and guarantee uninterrupted power supply across major towns in the state. This explains its visit to the ongoing power plant construction site in Ewekoro local government to see the first phase of the project, which is about 30 megawatts in Abeokuta out of the 100 megawatt plant capacity. Abiodun pointed out that the removal of generation, distribution and transmission of power generation from the exclusive list in the Nigerian Constitution necessitated Ogun State government to send a bill to the State House of Assembly, which was duly passed to law for the creation of Ogun electricity regulations.
It is that law that's governing all the activities of this sector in Ogun State. We now have an Ogun State Regulatory Commission, and that commission is a commission that will now provide oversight for anyone that wants to generate electricity, anyone that wants to distribute electricity, and anyone that wants to transmit electricity. So I think that nothing can be more symbolic than what you are seeing today, that following the fact that generation, distribution, and transmission is no more exclusive, Ogun State has not only passed the law, but we have begun to walk the talk. We are actually generating, and this is the first phase of our intended 100 megawatts generation capacity that will be generated from this location.
He also said the Light Up project would be extended to other places like Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, and Ado-Ota.
Can I assure you that once this is achieved, we may not be able to supply electricity to the whole of Abeokuta, but a substantial part of Abeokuta will now enjoy 24 hours uninterrupted power supply. And that would be unprecedented in the history of Ogun State. This is a government of unprecedented achievements. I'm looking forward, like I said, to doing the same in Ota, to doing the same in Ijebu-Ode, to doing the same in Shagamu. And the whole idea is that by the time we provide this kind of, mini generation plants, 30, 40, 50, 100 megawatts generation plants, it will now allow the power that's coming from the grid to be sufficient for our smaller towns and villages.
While giving an overview of the project manager said the project is about 90% ready.
The project right now about, I can say, 90% complete. The turbines are in place, control plants are in place, all the equipments are in place. Most of the power cables also we have tested in the earlier site itself, and it is ready to operate. Only we have to connect the pipings and the fuel. So diesel we are ready, another 2 weeks time. The foundation also ready, the tanks are just lying outside.
The Light Up project is in collaboration with the private sector to ensure adequate power supply for the people of the state. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to prioritizing policies that enhance productivity, motivation, and the overall well-being of public servants. Governor Abiodun made this known during the inauguration of the Chief of Staff to the Governor, 8 special advisors, and 4 permanent secretaries at the Executive Chamber, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu again reports.
According to Governor Abiodun, the inauguration of his Chief of Staff, 7 special advisors and 4 permanent secretaries is not just about appointment or title, but a solemn call to serve with dedication, integrity, and diligence, while saying that the Ogun State Public Service has long been known for its core values of integrity, discipline, loyalty, and excellence. The governor said the appointees must live up to their responsibilities in line with the shared agenda of his administration. He also emphasized and reminded the appointees that public office are not just about holding office, but to make a difference in the life of the people.
It is therefore imperative
that public service is continually reinforced with the right leadership at every point in time. This is precisely why these highly esteemed individuals have been chosen to inject fresh, innovative ideas into the governance framework of Ogun State.
Abiodun also commended the entire public service for its unwavering commitment, professionalism, and dedication to the development of the state, adding that these appointments are not only to fill vacancies, but to complement and strengthen the leadership structure for improved governance.
I urge you to be advocates of progress and champions of positive change. To our new permanent secretaries, you are now the standard bearers of the Ogun State public service. Your role requires that you effectively bridge the gap between government and the public, whilst ensuring that the administrative machinery functions efficiently.
While delivering the acceptance speech, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Twin Taiwo, thanked the Governor for giving them the opportunity to serve.
They were not going to disappoint you. We're not going to disappoint our people, and we're not going to disappoint humanity for giving us this privilege. It's a privilege, it's not a right.
But I want to thank His Excellency for deeming it fit to honor us with this appointment, and I want to pledge that I will continue to be diligent and I will work to fulfill the Ishaya mantra of His Excellency.
Some of the appointees also assured the governor that the Ishaya mantra would be guided and ensure that government achieves all its promises to people of the state. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
The 14th edition of Gateway International Trade Fair has been declared closed by the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. The Governor gave commendation on the cordial relationship the trade fair has promoted among the business communities and thanked the participants for leveraging on the opportunities to showcase their products and services. Matthew Shomi reports.
It's been 10 days of networking among various businesses, industries, and commercial sectors in Ogun State, while showcasing various products and bringing it closer to the people. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Bolu Owotomo, has come to declare the 14th edition of Gateway International Trade Fair closed with an assurance of an enduring impact on the business community. Bolu Owotomo expressed satisfaction with the opportunity that has been provided in the last 10 days for different products and commercial activities.
This is an opportunity for them to be able to foster collaboration among themselves in terms of product development, in terms of entering new markets, and in terms of improving their livelihood. You have seen a lot of financial institutions, a lot of manufacturers, and a lot of people that are not even doing farming exhibit their produce.
President of Ogun Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, Lioni Oshiyemi, said the 2025 Ogun International Trade Fair has been hugely successful, with various improvements to be expected by the time the 15th edition is held.
The trade fair has come and gone. We've learned our lessons. We are hoping on improving on the next great fair. It's coming up on the 6th of February 2026 to 16th of February 2026 next year.
There were good messages from the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and representative of Rwanda High Commission in Abuja.
International companies are given a platform to participate. As people representing a country, we are so honored that we participated.
So thank you so much, Obusima, for offering this platform to our farmers and all exhibitors.
Outstanding exhibitors represented with certificates of recognition, while a raffle draw was held to wrap up the 14th edition of Gateway International Trade Fair. Matthew Shoumi, Ogtv News.
The federal government has called for collaboration between the public and private sectors to boost the country's revenue generation. This is even as it also said it is now focusing on the non-oil sector as a way of diversifying revenue generation from oil. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, stated this at the opening of the 5th edition of the National Treasury Workshop with the theme, Nigeria's Revenue Challenges and the Way Forward, Exploring Non-Oil Alternatives, held in Abuja. The minister said the workshop is not just an annual event, but a strategic platform for fostering collaboration, exchanging ideas, and expanding knowledge on key strategies for the growth and stability of the economy through enhanced revenue performance and management. He said the recent global shifts in energy policies, declining oil demand, and fluctuating crude prices have jointly made it abundantly clear that Nigeria cannot afford to be overly dependent on oil revenues. Edu said Nigeria is blessed with abundant natural and human resources that remain largely untapped. The minister noted that several non-oil sectors have demonstrated strong potentials for revenue generation, job creation, and economic transformation. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has announced the disbursement of over 22 billion naira in student loans to over 200,000 applicants. This comes as it has also announced the closure of the 2023-2024 application process and the opening of the 2024-2025 application process. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, the managing director of the fund, Akitunde Sawyer, revealed that while the 2023-2024 application will close on February 21, 2025, the 2024-2025 application will open on February 2022. The West African Examinations Council, WAEC Nigeria, has released the results of the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination WASC for private candidates, second series. The examination conducted between October 25, 2024 and December 20, 2024 introduced a new computer-based hybrid mode alongside the traditional paper and pen option. In a statement, WAEC's acting head of public affairs, Moyosola Additional, said 65,023 candidates sat for the examination across 5,067 centers nationwide. This represents a 20% decrease compared to the previous year. WAEC reported that 95.9% of results have been fully processed and released, allowing most candidates to access their scores without delay. A performance analysis shows that 53.64% of candidates obtained 5 credits, including English and mathematics. This represents a 9.35% increase from the 2023 results. A total of 2,577 candidates had their results withheld due to alleged examination malpractice. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has issued a stern warning to teachers, prohibiting them from involving students in hard labor both on and off school grounds. This is contained in a statement by his spokesperson, Sunose Dawankin Tofa. The governor emphasized that schools are for education and moral guidance, not for manual labor. During an unscheduled visit to the School for Arabic Studies in Kano, the governor had found students digging a toilet pipeline. Visibly displeased, the governor questioned the headmaster about assigning such tasks to the students. The headmaster explained that the work was assigned after school hours. However, Yusuf ordered the practice to cease immediately. The governor assured the school management that his administration would renovate all the dilapidated buildings, including the attached mosque. Hundreds of aspiring basic midwife candidates who are above 17 years of age from across the 3 senatorial districts participated in the computer-based entrance examination exercise conducted by the Ogun State School of Nursing and Sciences as a key requirement for admission into the basic midwifery training program in the state. The examination was monitored by delegates from the Directorate of Nursing Services and the Minister of Health. Adebola Oshomoji has the details.
It was a day of expectation and determination as candidates from across the 3 senatorial districts arrived early to participate in the examination. A basic midwifery entrance examination is a standardized test used to assess potential midwifery student knowledge and understanding of essential biological, medical, and health-related concepts. To determine their suitability for this exercise, the Ogun State College of Nursing Sciences at Abeokuta campus conducted the computer-based test entrance examination for 597 candidates into the basic midwifery training.
The applicant must have applied for the program, must have O-level, 5 credits in O-level subjects like mathematics, English, chemistry, biology, and physics. And then must have been 17 years and above, must sit for this examination and must pass.
Addressing candidates before commencement of the computer-based test CBT, the provost of the college, Dr. Jemimat Shodemo, urged candidates to be mindful of the fact that success in the examination will lead to a professional career that deals with the sanctity of human life.
But because we want more midwives working with the government so that we will be able to reduce this maternal mortality rate. So they now give us the opportunity to admit another set of basic midwifery students. That's why we are writing this exam, and possibly this will be the last set for the program.
She affirmed that the nursing profession has improved in quality and is in higher demand than before as the population increases, saying students will be admitted strictly on merit as this will enhance the future of the profession.
This is Ogun State College of Nursing Sciences, and the school has been known for standard. We don't tolerate any form of trancy, legalism, cultism, or whatever. And we want to ensure that we want to meet up with the standard of health practices in Ogun State. We want to bring out the best in our students.
Some of the candidates expressed mixed excitement and anxiety as they participated in the exercise.
So I came so as to know more about maternal health and be able to help women during pregnancy, labor, delivery, and postpartum processes.
It has been my dreams to become a nurse or a midwifery student.
I want to have impact because I love to do that on a woman's life.
With the increased demand for skilled midwives, the examination, according to the organizers, marks a significant step in strengthening the healthcare sector as successful candidates will proceed to the next stage of training. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Operatives of the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, have uncovered 2 warehouses stocked with expired drugs in Abia State. The agency has been on an operation to eradicate the selling of adulterated and expired medications to innocent Nigerians. According to NAFDAC, during the raid at Mbakwe Road, Aba, they discovered that some suspects had removed and relabeled some cartons of expired drugs before being uncovered. The agency has, however, recovered some medications which would be taken to the laboratory for analysis. This was contained in a post on the agency's X handle. Still ahead, federal government to probe hoarding of relief materials for internally displaced persons. More news and reports after the break.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it the access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
What if upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one? Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
You're still watching Ogtv Main News. The federal government has vowed to investigate the alleged hoarding of relief materials meant for internally displaced persons, IDPs, following the discovery of stockpile supplies at Durumi IDP camp in Abuja. The Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Aliyu Ahmed, made this known during an inspection of the camp. Ahmed, who was at the facility to inaugurate a computer center donated by Brand Life Vision Foundation, uncovered that classrooms were being used as storage for food and non-food items meant for distribution to displaced persons. Expressing shock at the development, Ahmed disclosed that a committee would be set up to investigate similar cases across other IDP camps nationwide. He also announced plans to enhance educational opportunities for displaced children by collaborating with the Universal Basic Education Commission to provide teachers for the camps. The Lagos State House of Assembly has suspended plenary indefinitely following the security breach at the premises of the Assembly. Tensions escalated in the Assembly as security personnel, reportedly from the SSS, entered the Assembly premises and locked the Deputy Speaker's office before the start of the plenary session. This action led to a standoff between lawmakers and security officers, with the lawmakers eventually regaining access to the Assembly. Miranda was elected as the first female Speaker of the Lagos Legislature on January 13, 2025, following the removal of Mudashiru Obasa. During the plenary session, the lawmakers addressed the security breach and passed a vote of confidence in the Speaker, Mojisola Miranda. They also resolved to investigate the incident and report their findings to President Bola Tinubu and the SSS Director General Oluwatosin Ajayi. The Olowu of Owu Kingdom, Oba Sakama Temilola, has warned that any individual aspiring to become a traditional ruler must have a decent source of income. Oba Matemilola emphasized that traditional rulers without reliable revenue may resort to mischievous and unethical practices, such as illegal sale of land. He stated this during a special program tagged Media Parliament, organized by the Nigeria Union of Journalists. Ogun State Council, Bumi Adigun reports.
The special program, arranged by the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Council, tagged Media Parliament, is a regular interface between journalists and eminent personalities to address pressing national issues and profile workable solutions. Olowofu Obasaka Adelola Matemilola is the guest for the month of February, and with his background as engineer and professor, he represents a breach of his forefathers' legacy.
The traditional institutions have played a pivotal role in shaping our societies, from cultural preservation to conflict resolution and community empowerment. All these we have observed. I can't see the Olówu of the woman as a part of law ever since the project, since he became the king of Owu Kingdom.
Obasaka Matemilola lauded the council's initiative for organizing the program, stating that it plays a significant role in shaping the society as the invitees are individuals accountable to the public.
The things that make life worth living for every ordinary person, the other should be responsible for. And in modern times, it hasn't changed in any way. Never mind the fact that we have a democratically elected government in every state and in the federation as well. The others will still complementary to that of the elected government officials. And that is why it's important for us as others to be interested in who gets elected, who holds the power, who holds the pulse of the nation.
The review further recommended that anyone aspiring to become an Oba must have a genuine and legitimate means of livelihood.
We don't want to allow such people to continue to rubbish this regard, this highly esteemed institution that people ordinarily. And by the way, I did not realize how much respect people accord to professional institution until I came to this room. Apparently people respect the institution, but apparently some of us in these roles are the ones dragging the institution into the mud. But we're trying to fix it as best as we can.
The event included a question and answer segment, fostering engagement among participants. As watchdog of society, the council will not relent in playing its part at ensuring accountability and transparency in governance. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
District 911 of the Rotary Club International has held its first ever fundraising dinner to gather funds for the Rotary Foundation, a non-profit corporation that supports the efforts of Rotary International to achieve world understanding and peace through international humanitarian, educational and cultural exchange programs. District Governor, District 911, Dr. Oluwole Kukoyi, assured stakeholders of integrity and accountability as the foundation thrives solely by voluntary contributions, hence the need for the fundraising. Margaret Okunlola reports.
The name Rotary brings to mind service above self, as the mission of the non-governmental international organization is to promote peace, goodwill and understanding through service to others. However, this is a fundraising gathering of members of District 911 of the organization under the leadership of the district governor, Dr. Oluwole Kukoyi, nobles in the Rotary Club across the district, sponsors and donors to raise funds for the Rotary Foundation.
For all organizations in the world, Rotary is the only one that has a 4-star rating for 16 years, and that tells you our integrity. I can assure you that whatever money you put into Rotary Foundation will be used for that purpose. We spend over 90% of our fund on projects.
Members of District 9111, sponsors, donors, notable dignitaries and functionaries, including the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, who was represented by Lagos State Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Benga Oyerudu, said the funds will be channeled to the 7 focus of Rotary. These are water and sanitation, disease prevention, peace building and conflict prevention, economic empowerment, care for the environment, basic education and literacy.
Giving to humanity, there is a great reward in it. And for that reason, I want to encourage every one of us here seated that we must, from the bottom of our heart, we must willingly be free to give to the service of humanity.
For humanity, for the purpose of advancing the cause of nature, humanity, and benevolence, as it were.
Rotary International is a very responsible organization, and they are very highly rated worldwide.
Well, giving is something of the heart, and so far so good. What has propelled me to continue to do this is because I have that heart of giving, and this is just a starting point.
We were the first in polio, and it is through Rotary Foundations and the monies that were donated that we used in solving the polio meningitis issues. It's not a Rotary thing anymore for us to donate. It's a worldwide thing. It's everybody's thing.
Propel us to do more to the cause of humanity, to serve humanity the more.
On our part, Ogun State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, who doubles as the chairman of the organizing committee, Honorable Adijat Adeleye, revealed that the funds being pulled are not for personal gain, but out of pure spirit of impact.
We are trying to encourage people to give to humanity. Rotary Foundation is the heartbeat of Rotary International. It is the arm of Rotary International with which Rotary does good across the world, not just in this country, but across the world.
Awards were presented to notable individuals, captains of industry, government officials, who across various walks of life for their continuous generous contributions. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
Wife of Ogun State Governor Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun has joined other dignitaries and government functionaries in paying a condolence visit to the family of the late Alakperu of Iperu, Oba Adeleke Adelekon Idowu Basibo. During the visit, Mrs. Abiodun described the monarch's passing as a great loss to Iperu, Remoland, and Ogun State as a whole. Margaret Okunlola reports.
Wife of Ogun State Governor Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun visited the residence of the late Alakperu of Iperu, Oba Adeleke Adelekon Idowu Basibo. To commiserate with his family and the people of Iperu Remo, she was warmly received by chiefs, dignitaries, political appointees, and members of the Spouses of Ogun State Government Functionaries Association, SOSFA. Mrs. Abiodun described the late monarch as a beloved and dynamic leader who was deeply respected by his people.
Very lively Kabisi, very well loved Kabisi, full of life, and we weren't expecting it. It was a big shock to all of us, and I know that we're all going to miss him. Sometimes some people are not nice to Yahoos, but he was very nice to me as an Yahoo even before His Excellency became the governor.
Chiefs and other notable personalities at the gathering expressed their appreciation to Mrs. Abiodun for honoring the late monarch with her visit.
She's our wife. She has done the bit of a wife of the town and a wife to a brother. She should continue with the loyalty that she has as a wife. She continue. We are behind her.
She's the chief mourner that everybody missed this, our king that just passed because it was just too sudden. We just have to go with the wind of the time.
The Alakperu of Iperu, Oba Adeleke Adelekon Idowu Basibo, passed away on February 6, 2025, at the age of 67. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
The remains of Chief Moses Adenoye Akimade, father of Special Advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Media, Kayode Akimade, have been buried in Ododeiro Idore, Ondo State. Dignitaries from Ogun and Ondo States gathered in Idore to pay their last respect. Bumi Adigun reports.
A night of tribute and wake held for the Obamolua of Idore Kingdom. Chief Moses Adenoye Akimade marked the start of the final burial rites.
He is a fulfilled man.
And with this, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Shina, on behalf of Femi, on behalf of Emmanuel, on behalf of Tosi, on behalf of all the grandchildren, we stand to say that Grandpa is a real grandpa.
Born on the 24th of May 1926, the late chief passed on to glory on August 5th, 2024. The First Baptist Church, Palaswe Odode Idore, was filled with guests who came to celebrate his life. Ogun State Head of Service Kehinde Onosoya represented the Ogun State Governor, while the Chief Press Secretary to the Ondo State Governor represented his boss.
He posed a question and asked us, what do we want to leave behind? The answer is very, very simple. We are seeing the legacy of Baba in his children. And I want to urge the children to continue to keep the flag flying.
Ogtv has been a pillar of support to the administration of Mr. Governor since we came on board, particularly during the last governorship election. He was always in contact with me, giving us advice, giving us direction on how to pursue the media aspect of the work.
Former Governor of Ondo State, whom Kayode Akimade served as Commissioner for Information, Olusegun Mimiko, also attended the event. The remains of Chief Moses Adenoye Akimade were then committed to murder at his family home. Children of the late chief eulogized his dedication to their independence and the values he instilled in them throughout his life.
When I look at the life Papa had lived, I believe he has lived a fulfilled life and he needs an eternal rest.
I feel so bad, and also I feel great. I feel honored for the kind of person my father is. My father was when he was alive, and the legacy he has left behind. And I think for that alone, it's an honor for us, for we, the children of late Pa Akimade.
When you look at me, you discover that I look very much like him. So I'm his alter ego. When I say alter ego, that means philosophically, everything he represents.
I don't know the expression that I can use to describe my father. But what I know about him is that I will use the Yoruba language. I'm sorry to use the Yoruba language. Oje Baba Omo.
Papa was a very nice man, generous man. Even though I wasn't always there, he always asked of me. He wanted to see me every time. He always wanted to see me, and I was happy about that.
After the burial, guests were treated to a reception with popular musician Yinka Ayefele on bandstand. Politicians, commissioners from Ogun and Ondo states, permanent secretaries, directors, journalists, and public relations managers filled the venue. Chief Moses Adenoye Akimade is survived by wives, children, and grandchildren. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
The late Balogun of Egbaland, renowned legal luminary, industrialist, and philanthropist, Chief Amos Oshodolamo Sonyaolu, continues to be remembered for his immense contributions to Egbaland and his profound impact on the lives of many dignitaries, friends, and family gathered at his residence in Ibara Housing Estate for the 30th year remembrance following a solemn Thanksgiving service at St. John's Anglican Church, Igbe, Abeokuta. Matthew Shomi reports.
An accomplished lawyer, industrialist, and respected socialite, Chief Amos Oshodolamo Sonyaolu left an indelible mark in the socio-cultural landscape of Egba as the Balogun of Egbaland. His numerous humanitarian and philanthropic gestures were fondly remembered during the commemoration of his 30-year remembrance. The event began with a solemn Thanksgiving service at St. John's Anglican Church, Igbe, where Venerable Matthew Abolanle emphasized the importance of living a life of impact and being ever conscious of the transcendent nature of life.
We must be mindful of what would be said about us after leaving the world.
In a moving tribute, the late Balogun's wife, children, and other family members joined in thanksgiving, honoring his enduring legacy. Following the service, a reception was held at his residence where friends and dignitaries paid glowing tributes, describing him as a pillar of Egbaland whose passing remains a great loss.
It is very, very difficult for us to know. People like that will just die like that. But there's nothing we can do.
He was a good man who took good care of his family.
Late Baba has gone to rest, but he left good descendants.
The late Balogun's surviving wife and children reflected on his remarkable life, expressing gratitude for the values he instilled in them.
I wish to marry someone like him if I come to the world again.
Very pleasant man.
He was not only an awesome father, he was a fantastic husband to my mom. He was a doting grandfather to his grandchildren. He was a quiet socialite. He didn't really like noise.
He was a wonderful statesman. He was a wonderful community leader. It was just too much. And 30 years of him being gone, but not forgotten. Not for one single day has it been forgotten.
Beyond the formalities, the remembrance served as a touching opportunity to relive the memories of a distinguished socialite, a dedicated community leader, and an enduring asset to Egbaland. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
Time now for business news with Okwayemi Adeumi.
Welcome to Business News. The federal government, through the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, Creditcorp, has launched a credit scheme for the purchase of locally assembled vehicles. According to a post on X by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the government has rolled out the first phase of the scheme. The minister disclosed that subsequent phases will be targeted at locally assembled cars. Idris noted that Creditcorp has a target of supporting 1 million Nigerians to purchase locally made consumer goods by the end of 2026. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has revealed that the volume of stolen crude oil in the country has reduced to about 5,000 barrels per day, enabling oil production to rise to 1.75 million barrels per day as of January 2025. The Commission Chief Executive Benga Komolafe disclosed this as part of reforms and achievements in the Nigerian oil and gas sector under the current administration at the Renewed Hope Global Town Hall Conference held in Abuja. A press statement by the head of Public Affairs and Corporate Communication said this was achieved through kinetic and non-kinetic intervention. Nigerians have called on the federal government to conduct fresh tests to confirm the quality of petrol sold in filling stations across the country. This came amid allegations from a viral video that the petrol from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited doesn't last long in full tanks. This is even as the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria said the fuel from the NNPC is of the less quality standard. On Saturday, the NNPC denied claims that it sells substandard petrol with a high burn rate in a statement by spokesperson Olufemi Sone. The NNPC said it was reacting to a viral video claiming that its petrol does not last long when used. The Bureau de Change operators have attributed the recent strong performance of the Naira to the implementation of the Central Bank of Nigerian policy, which allow authorized dealers to sell foreign exchange directly to these licensed currency traders. The BCC operators revealed that there is a lot of forex inflow coming into the interbank window, with growing investors' confidence and huge portfolio investment coming into the banks. And that was the business news. We'll now go back to Mojisola for the rest of the bulletin. Please stay
It's time for the foreign segment of the news. Former Mauritius Prime Minister has been released on bail following his arrest on Sunday on money laundering charges. Meanwhile, Egypt's president has welcomed Jordan's crown prince in Cairo as the two countries continue to work on a plan to rebuild Gaza without displacing the Palestinians. Let's join Olayemi Takuro for details.
Former Mauritian Prime Minister Pravin Jugnauth has been released on bail following his arrest on money laundering charges.